Everyone throws around the word AI, ChatGPT, Claude, Midjourney, but here's the thing, none of these are actually thinking, because AI isn't intelligence, it's just prediction, a machine guessing the next word billions of times a second. So in this video, I will show you and explain to you what is AI.
The AI that matters every day.
So what is AI? The exact definition is software that can understand language, recognition patterns, and make decisions by learning from a large amount of data, rather than following rigid handwritten tools. So basically, it's a software that recognizes patterns, and it has been trained with an enormous amount of data in the training phase, and from this amount of data, it's able to recognize those patterns and make decisions by itself. And it's not more like following handwritten rules, only if you tell it in your prompt instructions like in Claude or ChatGPT, but what it can do is make its own decisions, because it has been trained with a huge amount of data, and now it's able to recognize those patterns. But there are different concepts about AI. So what lives under it? We have machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, and LLMs. You might know what is it. So machine learning, it's basically an AI that learns from examples. It's very good at image recognition. For example, it has been trained with a lot of images, and it can recognize an image of a cat and an image of a dog, for example. So this is machine learning, learns from examples. Then we have deep learning, that uses layered numbers networks. Then we have generative AI, that can create text, images, audio, voices, like all these new tools that we have right now, that can create videos like Hicksfield, voices like 11 Labs. This one can create new things. And then we have the LLMs, the large language models, that these are Claude, Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, these Chinese AI models that you can talk to them every day, you can tell them via prompts, have this context window, and all of this stuff. The LLMs are just the models inside these companies like Opus 5, Sonnet 5, Fable 5, ChatGPT 5.6, Gemini Flash 3.7. These are the large language models. Then we have to make a distinction between rules versus learning. Rules are this traditional software that we have as before, and then we have learning, that it's this new AI software. And as we said in the definition, AI doesn't, rather than following rigid handwritten rules. So this was before, that follow rules, but now with AI software, it can make its own decisions, as we saw in the exact definition. So the traditional software was predictable and rigid because it had to follow exactly those rules that you put it. Programmers had to write every single rule so that it worked, and face all things that are not coded, and if the rules are not exact and are not written correctly. Then we have this learning AI software that learns from millions of examples, millions of data, and handles new situations because it can make its own decisions. So it can handle any situation because it's able to think for itself, not follow just strict rigid rules. And it's flexible because you can give it a new situation, like when you use Claude, and it can do anything, it finds a way, it thinks, it has its own learning, its own making of decision, but it's a lot of probabilistic because, as we said, it recognizes patterns. It predicts the next word that it's going to say, so it can be predictable sometimes. So here are the two exact differences between rules, the traditional software, and learning, this new AI software. We have predictable and rigid, that follows every rule, and then the one that can handle new situation and make its own decisions. So we have covered what is AI, what lives under it, these 4 different concepts and rules versus learning. So if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I will be doing more videos like this explaining AI concepts for you to understand, because you might be using Claude or ChatGPT, but the core things and this vocabulary about AI, you should know it, because it will help you a ton when you use these models. So please give a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.
That's how I build. One person and every AI in public. The AI that matters every day.